Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build model kits and hang out with you. Talk to you about stuff that's going on. We'll wait for a few more folks to join us before we get the kickoff. This is the pre-show part of the stream. Thank you, Harold, for hosting. Always appreciate that. And I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote in there. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the emote in like Harold did, like I did. I got a lot of water tonight. The goal is to stay hydrated. It is very warm, and I have some lights on right now, obviously, for my green screen, which certainly doesn't make anything cooler. Jam is here. Harold is here, of course. Hello and welcome. Reminder, folks, it's the middle of the month. This is usually when people's Lashbrook is here. Hi, Lashbrook. It's usually when people's Twitch Prime or Twitch regular old subscriptions need to be renewed. And if you are renewing it via Twitch Prime, you have to manually renew that. And then also click that notification so that it shows up during the stream, and we can all throw the emotes in and say, "Hey, thanks for subscribing." I always appreciate folks that subscribe. It's always nice. Um, yeah, we're gonna get going in a little bit. I got a couple. I know it's not anime, but how about that Star Trek Picard trailer? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make me want to get pay for the service. I'll say that. That doesn't make me want to pay for the service. None of the TV shows that have been announced tonight for Marvel make me want to get Disney Plus. So they're failing on that run. They're not the one show that gets me interested in uh, spending my money on more subscription services. Um, so that's not great, but it looks cool. I hope people are into it. I like Patrick Stewart a lot. I like Captain Jean-Luc Picard quite a bit. Fond memories of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Watching that. And so I'm excited for the show, but not enough to uh, get a way to pay to see it. Uh, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the Marvel stuff. Like, there's some cool things coming out, sounds neat, but I'm not interested in Disney Plus. Maybe I will at some point. I will sub to Disney Plus for however long it takes me to watch The Mandalorian, then bounce. Yeah, I got here in time for the Peace to take or talk. Says Epic Open World. Hi, Epic Open World. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Harold asked, how about that Star Trek Picard trailer? And like, if you're gonna be Jean-Luc Picard, a cute dog, I'm into that. Mr. Bob's here. I didn't expect to see 7 of 9. Yeah, I thought she was done with Star Trek shit. Jerry Ryan seems to be mostly just into hanging like occasional appearances and seems to like people that she's been in the cast with, but that CBS Star Trek is p good, says Mr. Bob. I've heard Discovery is good. I just haven't watched it because I don't want to get CBS's streaming platform. Epic Gun World says I will watch it, but wait until the whole season is out and then sub for a month and unsubscribe. Totally understand that. Totally reasonable. I have thought about that doing that for Hulu because right now I'm watching 2 shows on Hulu, which is more than when I was just watching One Punch Man. It's still 2 shows. But do I like those shows enough to keep my subscription, or should I just get a Hulu subscription for a month when they're both done and watch them? And I think I'm keeping my Hulu. I don't like it. I know that many of you, I'm broken record, complaining about Hulu. It's almost enough to get me to just pay for the one where I don't get ads. The ads are also not for me. They are not even well targeted ads. They've never shown me an ad that made me interested in a product. They show me a lot of car ads, and I am light years away from getting a car. Hello, everybody who's hanging out. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get to building in just a moment. We're doing the old pre-show thing. I'm trying to drink a lot of water now because once we start building, I don't stop to drink water, which I should, but it is very warm. Um, I did that thing earlier where I had a sip of water and then suddenly down the glass, and I was like, oh, I guess I needed that. Um, I went outside today. Big mistake. Don't recommend. I know. Hey, also, I know that in many places it is way hotter than it is here in New York. And to y'all, I say, good luck. Stay, excuse me, stay cool. Stay hydrated. Stay safe. I am not trying to compare or contrast myself to y'all. I am only speaking of my own personal experience, which is to say, it is hot enough for me. All right, let's go to the overhead. We are working on the Fenice, Rinascita, or sorry, Rinascita, Rinascita. I don't know how to say it. I'm bad at that, and I apologize. Uh, this is the modified version of the Fenice from Gundam Build Fighters. It's a Gundam wing. It's a wing Gundam with some extra cool shit, and it looks neat. It's got some side rockets, which I appreciate the old shoulder rockets, and we're going to put some wings on this thing at some point. We've done the arms, the legs. It's got like kind of dragon talons on the sides, which are fun, and another wing, not the wing Gundam, but Gundam Wing to show. And it's a cool kit. Uh, as I said, I did go outside today. Oh yeah, and then I always like to show this when a kit has a lot of green in it. We'll take it up to the green screen, and you can see where you can see through parts of it. You can see through it to the kit on the table, and that's weird. But yeah, fun with green screens. We'll put it aside. We'll start working on the legs. I did go, like I said, I did go out today, and that was a mistake. Um, so let me know if y'all do this. Did any of y'all go to the grocery store and forget something? And you're like, shit, I needed that, but I've got enough of it. I don't have to go out special. Next time I go to the grocery store, I'll get that. Or tomorrow, I'll sidestep my way to the grocery store, get that. I won't actually really need anything. I'll get a couple things I kind of need. I'll get that tomorrow. And you go the next day and go to the grocery store. So you've gone 2 days in a row, but you're like, I'm not going to get this thing I need. And then you get other things, and you still don't get that thing you needed, the first day. So after 3 days, I finally got toilet paper, and I never ran out, but I was dangerously low of toilet paper for like 3 days, and it was never a problem, but it was always almost a problem. But yeah, I just kept fucking doing it, and I wrote myself a note. I had a list. I was like, okay, today I'm gonna get this and this. Oh, I can refill this. Oh, my liquid eggs are low, so I'll buy another one of those, and oh, I can do this while I'm there, and then I just kept fucking forgetting. I have forgotten the milk the last 3 times I've been to the store since Epic Open World. Yeah, it's just like, what am I even doing? It was very frustrating because I was like, I I know I know I need this. This is like literally yesterday it was the reason I went to the grocery store. I forgot it and it was the only reason I went. I got things I didn't really need that could have waited. But I was like, well, while I'm here, I'll get this. And didn't get the thing I actually needed. But I got it today, y'all. I went out special. I wrote it on a piece of paper and held that piece of paper as I left my apartment so as to not forget. And that's a goofy experience, I'll say. But it worked out because I got what I needed. Ultron's here. Hello. Welcome, welcome, Ultron. Happy to have you here as always. Welcome to the Bear Cave. It is because the anniversary was yesterday. I have considered both Thursday and today my 2-year anniversary stream because it happened in the middle of it. So yeah, this is the 2-year anniversary. Working on this here. Next kit is the Magnac, which will be the last Gundam Wing model kit, that we have to build. So I'm looking forward to that coming up. But also just looking forward to working on this, working on the legs here. Again, legs up until a certain point, you can just do all of it at the same time, both sides, because they're symmetrical up until you get to the, joints that meet at the waist. So we can do a lot of this at the same time, which is good. Um, so today I went and got myself finally got toilet paper among other things. Went grocery shopping, left the house, got a slice of pizza, which was too hot for pizza. I don't know. I mean, I love pizza, but it was warm, and I didn't think that didn't feel like the best idea. I should have gone for ice cream instead. And then I did a bunch of video stuff today. I filmed the thing that I do. In case you don't know, I have a Patreon. I mention it every week. But a thing I do on my Patreon once a month is I record a Q&A video just for patrons from the $1 up. Get this video that no one else gets um, as a thank you to people for subscribing. Uh, and so I shot that video. Then I shot a closer look video, which is a series I do on YouTube, where I take a closer look at something. And those videos are vary from the last one was me looking at all my Dragon Ball Z kits to there was a closer look that was a sped up version, a sped up footage of me breaking down a Lego set, and I filmed that. A bunch of different things I do on closer look. So I filmed that. Uh, then I filmed filmed those two. Oh, and then I also edited next week's um, background and characters, which I'll link to later. The one I did this Wednesday. Let me say, the one I did this Wednesday, I think it's my favorite. Wait, you are the producer of Seth Meyers' closer look videos. Yeah, but World. I realized after I named it the first time that I'm like, oh, this is the name of a thing that exists in the world. But whatever. I dreamed I was in a car chase, says Ultron, during the nap that Ultron took. Uh, and was getting shot at because I damaged the guy's car. Then I pulled over and calmed him down and agreed to pay for his car repairs. So everything turned out okay. Well, that's great. Ultron, I'm glad that you were able to do some quick negotiations and settle some issues in your dream and get some conflict resolution going in that dream of yours. Jay. Jay's over here. Uh, that is fun. Best case scenario, indeed. Um, yeah, so I shot those things. Did I do anything else video wise? Oh, I uploaded background and characters. That's right. I uploaded the video as well. Uh, the new background and characters that I just shot is also fun. I enjoy it. This past week's one is the best one I've done. I think. The mayor of Cool, California, which is a real place. And once I learned that Cool, California was a real place, I was like, oh, well, I know what kind of character I'm doing for this video. And I had a good time doing it. We're working on our legs here. Get some, it's a master grade, so we'll have some movability here. These look pretty good. Then I need E10. E10. Great. With the heel here. Some good colors. Got the beige going. All that. We won't have any stickers for a bit. There's only 2 stickers left in this kit. And it'll be a little while before we use those. So that's good. Just focus on the building. But yeah, let me know, y'all, if anybody had anything fun today. If anybody, went to work or did anything cool or just stayed cool as possible. Let me know what your day was like. I was keeping an eye on, San Diego Comic-Con news today. Sounds like some stuff is pretty good there. Excited to see that. I'm just happy to hear Kumail is going to be in Eternals. That's awesome. Kumail Nanjiani's a good dude. Have not seen him in a bit, but was always good to me. And very happy for him. Sounds cool. Pat, I just left my bedroom for the first time because it is too damn hot. I understand, Mr. Bob. I totally understand. It took a lot out of me to get out and leave my apartment today. I'm glad I did, but yeah, it took some energy. Um, did not really want to do it. Happy to be back home. Sometimes after stream, it's like 11 o'clock Eastern time. When I'm done streaming, I'll go and like get something or whatever. The chance to like leave the house or whatever. Not today. Tonight I am gonna pour myself a cold beverage when the stream's done. Start uploading the video, and then just hang out. Try to chill. There we go. All right, and oops. This there we go. It's got a snap in there. Got to work the top of this boot in a little bit. Epic Open World. I can see your message. Lastbrick also says it. You can see Ultron as well. Let's see. Okay, I had a cold, says Sharks. Hi, Sharks. So I stayed in, finished my Astaroth Gundam. Hell yeah. With all the SDCC news, I have a controversial hot take. All the roll trailers and Twitter are the worst. I agree. Robot Crank just subscribed. That's 10 months on a 10-month streak. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime coin 10 months in a row. Let's throw the Bear Cave emote in there and the Lego emote and say thank you to Robot Crank as I go back in there. Lashbrook went to work. Auto roll trailers are bad. Yeah, no auto roll videos allowed. You're eating too much Taco Bell? No, not true. But yeah. Folks throwing the back in there. Thank you very much, Robot Crank. And once again, as always, folks, thank you for your continued support, Robot Crank. I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate everybody who's a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, because you just can't right now, I get that and totally understand. And it's cool. I wish you could. I wish you would. But I get it if you can't. It is very warm underneath these lights. Oof. Okay. A sweat trickle here, like right here. I can feel. Yeah, no, you should be trailers like autoplay anything in video is something I immediately turn off if that option is allowed because I can't with that shit. No fucking thank you. But yeah, I have a nice cool beverage waiting for me after the stream, along with the water I got here. And once the stream's done tonight, I'm just going to kick up all the fans into high and just relax as best I can. My roommate is not home, and so I'm thinking about closing all the windows. So here's the deal. To some of y'all, what I'm about to say sounds like madness. And hear me out. It's not the smartest thing in the world, but it is true. I don't have air conditioning. There's a couple months of the year where it's brutal that I don't. I have an overhead fan, I have a box fan, I have a window fan. I have all the other windows open in the apartment. The main reason why we have an air conditioner, it is old, but we have an air conditioner that is in our kitchen. So I would have to party at Pat's house, yes. So my roommate has an air conditioning unit that he uses because his room is very small. He's got one window, close the window, close the door, air conditioning. Easy. My room is big. I don't have an actual door. It's a Dutch-style apartment, which I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I was told that's what it is. It basically have a cutout, which I have a black curtain on, like with a split in it. If you've ever watched any of my videos where I don't have a green screen, you see just black curtain behind me when I'm like playing like Hearthstone or any games. That's my doorway. So it's not easy for air to get into my room, but it's also easy for it to leave my room. So I don't have an air conditioner here in my bedroom. There is an air conditioner in our kitchen. And what I've done sometimes is put a curtain to block out the living room from the kitchen, close the bedroom door to my roommate, if especially my roommate is there, previous roommates, I did this before, and then turn the air conditioner on, and then just sit in the kitchen with with my iPad or my laptop and just fucking relax. Uh, so I am thinking of doing that if it gets any hotter than it is here. Uh, I'm sorry this is taking so long here. Snapping this in is being annoying. Uh, this part here. They want you to do it second, but it doesn't really want to go in cleanly. It's frustrating. Also, my hands are sweaty, so that's probably not helping anything. I don't love forcing pieces into into sockets, but let's see if I can get this in. You can always just kind of show this like this. Nope, because I don't want to break anything. It's just being weird. But yeah, one of the things I do is the way my bedroom is set up um, is sometimes I will just sleep the opposite way out of my bed than I normally would, because that way my head is by the window that has the big fan coming out of it, and then the box fan that I have pointed in my bed that swivels, I can just swivel to where my head is, and that is when I really need to beat the heat. But this, like I said, there's only a couple times a month, so I've never bothered to get air conditioning in the room because it would actually be very difficult to keep the air in the room. It would just escape into the rest of the apartment. So then you have to close all the windows, and then my roommate would have to run his air conditioner, which I don't want him to do if he doesn't want to. So I kind of at an impasse there. It may be a hell outside, but having constant AC that also doesn't break the bank is a trade-off I'll take. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is I'm probably going to run that air conditioner because my roommate's not home. Shut all the windows. I have to grab. What I'll end up doing is there is uh, a a sheet I have that I'll just drape over a pull-up bar, and that'll separate. They'll kind of keep air into from leaving the kitchen into the living room. Just go to sleep in the Giant Bomb East studio. It seems like it's really cold all the time. So the where Abby sits, the Giant East Studios, which is like, and this is like they've done tours of this, whatever. Like, so the room that you see everybody filmed in, right? To get to that room, you walk through the studio area, which is where Abby is set up for filming, or filming, and Vinny's in there sometimes as well. It's mostly Abby. That little room, there's very good air conditioning, and the door like closes and is pretty soundproofed. It does get cold in there. I've never spent a lot of time in Abby's like area, like workspace. I've mostly, when I've been there, been in the actual like studio, which is not as cold as where Abby is. But where Abby's situated, that fucking spot is cold. All right, I'm gonna move on because I've been trying to get this leg to sit perfectly for a while here, and I have been unable to. So I am going to make an executive decision to continue on with the build, and I will come back and try to get this piece to sit in so that these are uniform, because right now they are not uniform. You can see that poking up right there. I don't like that. But we're going to move on because this is taking too long. And it's not crucial for the build that I get it right in this very moment. So we'll move on to parts of the legs here. But yeah, I'm thinking that after the stream I might let this room cool off because the lights have been on, and the bulbs I use here are low heat. The ones I used to use before this kicked up way too much heat, and like I would have to turn them off and let them sit for a really long time before I could touch them. The bulbs I use right now they basically need to be off for a couple minutes and they'll cool right down and easy enough to touch. Although I don't take them out, I just move the stands. Um, but drink some water here. Drink that water while it's cold. Whew, that's good. Um, all right, so 8, 8. We need H and H, which is here. Or H's. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely thinking I might run that air conditioner. We cleaned it last summer, so it hasn't been thoroughly cleaned. But the filter was cleaned last summer, and we didn't really use it much last summer, so it shouldn't take long to cool down. I just have to run an extension cord to the power supply, and then it'll work out perfectly. All right. But yeah, I think I deserve some nice cold air. Oh, it'll be real good. Do that nice trick of taking a shower and then turning the cold down, getting nice and cold right when you leave, just to cool your body temp down. Ooh, that's nice. Haven't had to do that. Haven't had to take the shower just to feel cool yet. We're not at that part of the heat, but we could get there. Who knows? Um, all right, more H's here as we start to put together our legs. Get the H46 to H32. Oh. I've been on a bit of a break. The theater that I've been working at, twice a week, has been has been closed for a little while. So I've missed about 4 shifts. So I'm going back on tomorrow because we're reopening tomorrow. I'm excited about that. We don't at the moment have anything scheduled for the following Sunday, and I really hope that changes because I want to work on the 28th. I want to shift. But I am happy to be back again, working on some shows. Uh, that makes me happy because I enjoy working wherever I can, and there are places I like. I like doing stuff, so. Let me tell you, y'all. Uh, I got there's a show that's video heavy tomorrow. There's some stand up and some videos, and they sent me a PowerPoint with all the videos today. So I was able to ask questions and resize the videos for the screen and do prep work. And I was like, "Hey, I'm confused about this. When does this happen? What's up with this? You said this is a musical guest. What do you mean?" And do that part of my job, and they were like, "Oh, you're right. This doesn't make any sense." Or, "Oh, well, you can do it like this." Or, "What are our options? Can we plug in this?" And it was just very helpful, to answer questions and do part of my fucking job. Oh, so nice. So nice. That's my rule. Either do all the work for me or let me do my fucking job. Um, I saw the new retro chip bags for Doritos and Fritos and Cheetos, says Ultron. I bought one of each because of nostalgia, I guess. They got me. Yeah, Ultron, sometimes they just fucking get you, You're like, that, what? Oh, is this nostalgia? Shit, okay. Guess I'll buy these. Yeah, that happens, Ultron. I've been there. Lots of times. Where I'm like, oh, classic Pepsi, oh wow, this looks like the old bottles. I guess I'll get it. I'm not thirsty, but alright. I guess you win. Guess we're doing this. Yeah, sometimes they win. Okay, so this has got to go. This. Here. Is Chester Cheetah back in his old form? He is selling KFC. Yes, Chester Cheetah is the Colonel or doesn't want to be the Colonel or something. I don't know. I don't have cable, so I don't see a lot of advertisements like that. I kind of want to try New Coke because it was coming back due to Stranger Things, but then they made it hard to get. Yeah, so here's the thing about New Coke. It's fine. Coke 2 or New Coke, I remember getting because I was always a Pepsi family, but my cousins were a Coke family. So I remember being at like a cousin's birthday or something, or Halloween, something like that, and New Coke or Coke 2 was there, and the packaging was different, and the art on the bottle was different, and I remember being like, oh, this tastes like more like Pepsi than Coke does. Okay. Um, and then like people freaked out because they said they were never going to make Coke again, and people lost their dang minds, and there was letter writing campaigns, and it was a whole thing, and they were like, "Oh, we're going back to Coke, classic Coca-Cola. Don't worry about it. We'll never change it again. It's Coke. It's what you remember. Please, we have families." And it's like, okay. But yeah, I remember it being fine. Crystal Pepsi, also fine. The thing, Ultron, the thing with Crystal Pepsi was it looked weird. That's all it was. It was weird to drink a thing that looked like Sprite but tasted like Pepsi. It was still fine. It just looked weird. Uh, Rebuild the Coca-Cola. Yes, yes. Uh, I have a case. It's a case of Planters cheese balls because they were the go-to snack when I was young. Hell yeah, Asmo. Also, hi, Asmo. But yeah, sometimes you just like want the thing. I bought Surge. Yes, I mean, look, Epic Open World. I think you're thinking of Jolt Cola, because Jolt Cola was cola that gives you a jolt. Surge is great, but Jolt came first. And Jolt was a thing where you were like, my parents don't care that I drink Jolt, so anybody want to buy Jolt from me? And Surge was good because it was citrus flavored and also had a lot of sugar in it. Uh, I have not been buying Surge from Amazon. I'm trying not to buy food items from Amazon. It's fine if you are. I'm not saying don't. I'm just trying not to. Um, that's just me at the moment. All right, so we got to do this. Got to do this. Need a couple more pieces here, some H's, and we'll get that going. I'm trying to think if there's any other like nostalgia. Oh, you know what I bought? I was this past holiday, I was visiting some friends while I was seeing my parents. I have some friends that live kind of near where my parents retired to. So I was visiting some friends, and then we went to the Costco. And this Costco had, and some of y'all, this isn't going to mean anything, but to a few of y'all, maybe, hopefully, at least one of y'all is going to understand when I say that they had Dad's root beer. Dad's, as for all I can tell, is a Sam's Club's, BJ's, Price Club, Costco brand root beer that you just get in like a case. You get like a sheet of root beers. Epic World says, yeah, oh great. So some of y'all have drinking some Dad's root beer. So a thing that my dad would get Dad's. My dad would go to Costco or Price Club or BJ's or whatever. He would go to one of those places, and he would come back with a case of Dad's root beer and a pretzel keg. Now, a pretzel keg is what it sounds like. It is a container, a big plastic container. Oh, yeah, Tenempy. Yes, I know nothing about build fighters, but it's a green Gundam Wing inspired model kit with some cool, like, cool effects, like cool plastic effects. So I'm really into it. Even without knowing the show, you're totally right. This is a cool kit. Um, but yeah, so Dad's root beer. So my dad would buy Dad's root beer, and then he would also buy a pretzel keg. Uh, and a pretzel keg is a plastic container shaped like a keg filled with sourdough pretzels. And so Dad's root beer and sourdough pretzels from the pretzel keg were the thing my dad would get when he would go to Costco. And then my mom would get mad, but not mad enough to make him not do it the next time. Ha ha ha. So we still won. Sorry, Mom. Uh, I've had it in my Crunchyroll queue for months now and never watched it. Yeah, so like I started watching it and kind of like it didn't hook me, and maybe it will again. I know that the first few episodes you want to give it some time, but the concept I love. I love the concept totally, um, and I like a lot of the designs from it. It starts slow. Yes, Mr. Bob, you had mentioned that it does start slow, but yeah, I think the designs are really fun. I love the taking some classic Gundams or not so classic Gundams and giving them new life in a new show, I think is really cool and smart. And I could see some young fans who started with that going back to some of the older shows with the designs that they don't, they're learning about. I could see that working the other way. Oops, all right, I gotta pop this open. And then this goes into this piece here. Where does this go? Okay. Huh. All right, and look at that. Oh, okay. All right. I'm seeing now where the other part of this connects. Does it go in here? Sorry, this is like a little complicated, and I'll figure it out, and then it'll make the next part of this build easier. All right, I'm starting to understand where these things go. I'm doing this just wrong. Nope. All right. Yes. Okay. I did this wrong. All right. I figured it out. Yes. Ron Baral. Yes. This should really make a MG of the Zero Hono Pat. Uriel. Yes. Ultron. That would be fun. Uh, we didn't get the pretzel kegs, but Snyder's sourdough pretzels were my dad's favorite snack when I was a kid. Lots of football uh, watching with a box of those on the side table. Hell yeah. That is really cool. Um, the Gundam I'm actually excited about working on in the future because some of you may have seen that or heard that I went and bought a couple kits. I got the Magnac, which we're building next. The Magnac I'm excited to build because that'll be the last wing model kit I haven't built on, or any kind of model kit from Wing that I haven't built. So that's coming up. So I'm excited about that. And then the other thing I'm excited about building, which I think you'll also be psyched about, is the Blitz Gundam. I've only built, I think the Buster Gundam is the only thing I've built from seed. I may have built one other thing, but I don't think so. So I am looking forward to working on the Blitz Gundam because The Blitz Gundam is a stealthy boy. It's a stealthy, sleek looking, Death Scythe Master Gundam looking friend. And I'm very excited about putting that kit together. I think it's a really sharp looking kit. And it's got a grappling hook. That rules. So yeah, that's those are some things that I'm looking forward to building. And then I also so I bought three things. So now I have three things in the queue. Um, it's definitely a Death Scythe with serial numbers filed off since last book. Yeah, I have two small Lego sets that are for travel that I'm going to be bringing with me to PAX because I always like to have kits in case I can stream. So I have two Lego sets for streaming if that comes up. But one of the things I also have is it's a smaller kit. It's like 200 something pieces, but we could build it and it'll be a fast build because I haven't done Lego in a while. We've never done anything from Batman, and so I got a Batman kit. But not only is it a Batman Lego set, which just in general I'm excited about, it's also a Batwoman. There's a Batwoman minifig in this kit, and I'm very excited about that because Batwoman rules. So I'm excited to put that together. Um, that just came in the mail today. So yeah, so I have a little bit of a queue now, which is good because this Fenice was the last thing I had to build up until I bought these other things. Like I said, I do have those two Lego sets, and those Lego sets are kind of like they're 100 something pieces, like so they're good for like an hour and change build on the road, and I can even take them without the box and just take the bags, and they'll be easy to transport to and from. So I like to have those for travel in case I can stream from my Airbnb. Um, but it was like it was getting the coffers were a little low, I'll say. So I just not had a lot of disposable income, but I decided I had to go ahead and make some purchases. So I wanted to have stuff to build. But yeah, I'm excited about that Blitz and the Maganek. It's also like it's a cool looking high grade. I don't build high grades too much, but it looks good. You saw a Batmobile the other day, Slashbrook. What the fuck? Right past me while I was waiting for the bus. Had plates and everything. That rules. Oh, it was the Keaton Batmobile. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's awesome. All right, so we've got top parts of our legs done here. Now we're going to keep working on that. I need 7 and 7. That's awesome, Lashbrook. That's very cool. Um, so I'll have some anime to talk about in the second half because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shows to talk about. A fifth show that there is no new episode, so I won't talk about today. And I want to talk about a little bit about Kyoto Animation. Uh, so this week, the animation studio Kyoto Animation, which is known for a lot of properties, my favorite. I mean, I love K-On!, but my favorite is probably Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Violet Evergarden is just one that came out. They're a prolific studio, which has been known to have lots of female directors, and apparently, according to employees, past and current, uh, treats their staffs well and respects their staffs, and apparently was like a great place to work. They recently, this week, had an attack by an arsonist, and there were casualties, and it's awful. Um, I have a tweet that I will link in the show description. That also I'll put in the chat here about ways you can support. Crunchyroll did a nice little write up of ways that people can support. I'll just link to that to their ways that you can support Kyoto Studios. But yeah, it's fucking awful. and they're like, I mean, like, obviously you want, um, in any type of situation like this, I mean, they could have made bad anime, and you still feel bad, you still have it. But the fact that they make things that bring comfort to people, that like a lot of the messages I saw from people that I know uh, were about how this company, like, their shows got them through hard times. So it's like extra awful to see. Um, well, so in response, the show Fire Force, the anime that is about uh, demons that are incinerating people with fire, they did not put a new episode out this week. It's a shonen show. Um, out of respect, they did not put out a new episode that would have been out Thursday night in Japan and today or Friday in the U.S. So, which I fully respect that decision. I think that's a probably the right decision. Um, it's yeah, it's obviously a terrible situation, and you think about like somebody attacking that place is is just awful. Uh, yeah, Ultron. I don't know. I mean, I don't pretend to understand the hearts and minds of people, and I don't know why you would, uh, why these kinds of attacks happen. I don't know. Uh, can't begin to understand. But a lot of respect to I forget the studio that does Fire Force, but a lot of respect to them for making the choice to hold the episode for a bit, because certainly I don't think anyone would call them insensitive, but it's a tough thing to promote. It's a tough thing for people to be like, "Hey, check out our show about firefighters who." Yeah. So, uh yeah, it's a rough one. I'm seeing the news coming out and just, yeah, feeling terrible, but like I said, that link is ways that people can support, and it's a simple thing. It's like very easy to just be the buy some images off their website is a pretty simple way to directly support them with no overhead. Uh, yeah, and I don't mean to be a downer of a stream, but I also, y'all know, and I think that hopefully folks respect that and appreciate that. Like, we don't pull punches here, and we don't shy away from talking about things that affect us and mean something. Uh, so I felt like it was important to talk about it because it is a thing that is affecting the world of anime and people that love it and working on it. Uh, so yeah, it's definitely devastating for a lot of people. My heart goes out to all of them. Uh, and and we'll be talking about anime today because there's a lot to talk about. A bunch of shows that I watch have episodes, and so I'll talk about those in a moment or two. Working on the legs here. This is a lot of interconnected pieces. This is definitely, certainly a master grade. Like, there's a lot going on here, and I'm, figuring it all out as we go. It's too big to ignore. I'm doing the Sentai Filmworks GoFundMe now. Yeah, and that's nice to see. I love the anime store, the nationwide anime stores that they're picking up a collection. It's really nice to see as well. Um, and people can come together in something like that. Uh, But yeah, it's ugh. Sometimes there aren't words for tragedies like that. Completely preventable situations like this where it just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we'll get a little bit more done of our legs, and then we will take a pause for the cause, which also seems weird, but we're coming up to the time to take a pause. But let's get a few more pieces done here on our legs here, and then we can chat about some a little bit of lighter things going on. Uh, like I said, I got some animes to talk about. There's some animes that are out, and it'll be good to talk about those. Came out this week. Um, do and talk about. All right. Oh, they wanted to do the second, so we'll do the second. So much of anime is being able to overcome tragedy through passion. Times like that, and it makes you feel so powerless. Yeah, I don't disagree, and I think that's uh, a tough spot to be in, and it's an isolating spot to be in, and that's why, for a lot of people, anime, is a medium of people overcoming their own, insecurities or finding passion or finding community and finding friendship. That's why I like those images always get me of or video. There's a video of a bunch of My Hero Academia cosplayers with uh, doing the Plus Ultra with the voice actor of and just like crying, like they're all very emotional because All Might just talked to them, uh, which is so fun to be like, that's Vegeta, but to a whole generation, that's like that's All Might. That's such a fun thing to think about. But yeah, I mean, it's you see kids in cosplay conventions, like especially seeing a lot more. It's been really fun to see over the past couple of years more anime cosplayers at non-anime conventions at like New York Comic Con or like Emerald City Comic Con. When I went last year, there was a lot of cosplayers, and it was really fun to see that. The community is those kids having more and more fun out in public and being who they are, and uh, they're really crying because it's Yamcha. Yes, sure, sure. Yes, they're overwhelmed by finally meeting Yamcha. All right. And F. Oh. Got a little misty watching the Star Trek trailer. Yeah, I mean, hey, I am of an age where uh, you may have just bought a Metal Gear kit on Amazon, Mr. Bob. Well, I can't wait to see photos of that because I'm never going to make one. Those things are pricey. So good luck to you, my friend. But they can be pricey. Uh, hell yeah. But yes, we'll take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. But I will say, uh, look, Patrick Stewart brings up a lot of emotion, legitimate, honest, at real, positive, life affirming emotion. I have such a fondness for that man that yeah, like the fact that he's gonna be in a Star Trek show, like hell fucking yeah, like that totally hits me in a positive way and makes me just feel great. Like fucking awesome. Uh, it is, but at least it seems more reasonable than the Dragon Zord I bought. Woo boy, Mr. Bob. That is a pricey kit. All those Dragon Zords. Yeah, you're spending some dime there. All right, we'll get these components assembled here, and then we will take a pause for the calls, talk about ways people can support the stream. Picard is totally my Star Trek captain. Yeah, Asmo, I totally understand. Uh, yeah. Kendrin says I may or may not have watched the Picard trailer 5 times already. The Dragon Sword is half the size of the Megazord. Yeah, it should be. It's got to be attached to it. Can't be as big as a Megazord. That's a bunch of Zords. Uh, yeah, Lashbrook, I saw that Unicron. Woo. I was also looking at. So you guys you know that I build the figurized Dragon Ball kits. Well, the figure arts are their action figure line, and the figure arts they have. Oh, they got some good Gohan. They got a good Gohan. I wish that Gohan. I wish that Gohan was a figure rise so I could build it. Oh, but a friend of mine was at the preview, got a ticket for the preview, and for Bluefin, and was like, "Do you want anything?" And I was like, "Well, get me the Gogeta, because the Gogeta that they sell that is on Amazon is the blue Gogeta, but this is just a regular Saiyan, Super Saiyan Gogeta." I was like, "Kind of want that." So I don't know if I'm getting it. I don't know if he actually could get it. I didn't want to bother him because he is working, and I don't want to be like, "Hey, hey. I know that you're like on the clock or whatever, but like, what about the figure that I want?" So, oops, did I attached one of these wrong, and I don't know which one. So I could just pull it apart. You can see here that one of these is right, and one of these is wrong, because they're pointing differently. I don't know, maybe they're both right. They're both right. Yeah, one of these is on wrong, and I don't know which one, so I get to take it apart. I really wish Bluefin went to the convention I go to. Yeah, I mean, they go to New York Comic Con, so I get to see them. This, of course, obviously is at San Diego, which I am not at because I would not be streaming or I would be streaming from my hotel room like I did last year. But what I really wanted to do is I really wanted to stream from Aaron's, uh, Mr. Aaron Treitz's store. I want to do an in-store stream, but couldn't make it out this year. So, all right. So I put this in wrong. This one I put in wrong. Fixing that, reassembling, and then we'll take our pause for the cause. But yeah, that Gogeta is just incredible looking, and I really want to build it. But that that Gohan, teen powered up Gohan, looks so fucking rad, and I would love to build that as a figure, but it is not part of the figure eyes. It's just a shame. It's a figure arts. And it's good. It's just not what I want. Y'all understand. Alright, so assembly assembled. We got to put rockets on these things, which we'll do in a moment. Some pictures of Aaron's store on Twitter. Oh yeah, it looks all. I mean, every photo I've seen looks fantastic. Aaron's doing a fantastic job. I was very happy. Greg Miller took some photos when he was there, and just kind of showed off the store in a way that was appreciative. But I mean, Aaron worked for a comic book store, growing up, and that was always the dream. And he knows what he's doing, and he knows what he needs to do, and so I'm excited for that. I have some friends in San Diego who also go to San Diego every year. I pointed them to Now or Never and hope they made it over. I hope they make it over too, Asmo. I want Aaron to do really well. This is his first, show. Like last year, I was there, and took the train down, and we hung out, and he went on the show floor and bought some stuff for the store, and was still like getting ready. It was still like a thing, a coming soon, and now he's open, and he's like the comic book shop near the convention. And I texted a few friends of mine that are around to be like, hey, if you want to go to an actual comic book shop, sorry about that. There we go. I don't know what you mean. Oh, yeah. Well, um, Lashbrook, you're totally right. Uh, Now or Never Comics, the Twitter account, their header for their Twitter, it says store opening soon. He has been open for a bit. Uh, on Monday, when his day off and he is relaxing, I will go, hey, just noticed that your header on the Twitter says store opening soon. Uh, if anything, his comic book shop is the only place I want to go to on the West Coast these days. Well, yeah. I mean, I got Seattle. I want to do that too. But Lashbrook, good looking out. I hadn't noticed that, and I'm sure it's on his list and it's just a low priority. But he's so good with the internet stuff that, like, and I say that like I'm an old man. I am. But he's so good with social media that I'm sure it just slipped his mind. But I'll point it out. Anyway, speaking of social media, thanks so much for watching this stream. We're going to take a pause to the cause, then we'll get into some anime talk. Consider becoming a subscriber. If you're currently a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote in there. Let the people know. Throw the Lego emote, the Bear Cave, the Scythe if you're a Tier 2 or Tier 3 subscriber. Consider renewing your subscription. We just had a few. This is the couple days where people's subscriptions need to get renewed. So consider doing that and letting me know if you're doing that. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for everybody that is currently a subscriber. It does mean the world to me. Um, Bits and coins are always appreciated. Brown Lantern's at the top of the leaderboard right now, above all of the tweets. And then Harold and the Real Rai Rai, which is real very nice. You know, you get somebody new up there on there. Bits and coins, always appreciated. I have a Patreon, I should say. I just posted a Q&A I do every month. So that's something to consider. My Patreon, different tiers, different ways. If you don't want to do through Amazon, if you don't want to link your Amazon Prime to Twitch and do that, Patreon is a great way to support what's going on here. Ink Gunpla says, what up? Hello, I'm just doing a pause to the cause, talking about ways people can support the stream. We've been working on our Fenice, and we're going to get back into that in a minute, but I'm just going through some quick stuff, mentioning my Amazon wish list, which if you buy something on that list, it gets sent to me, and I build it ahead of order. Like I said, I've got some stuff to build. But I also have some stuff that I'd like to build, and people that want to buy that stuff for me, that's great, and it jumps the line. As you can see, we've got some cheap stuff at the top of the list, quick builds, but would be fun, down to more expensive things, Lego sets, model kits, Dragon Ball, Gunpla, all kinds of stuff. And I'm always excited when something arrives in the mail. So if you'd like to, feel free. That Freedom Gundam, I've been kind of having my eye on. The version 2 of the Freedom Gundam looks great. I'd like to build it at some point. There's a bunch of stuff that I'd like to build that's on the wish list. The gun tank came down in price a little bit. That could be fun to build and stream. You know, I got a bunch of stuff in there that would be cool to put together. Another kit from Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. We did one of those. I wouldn't mind doing another. That was a pretty fun build, and it's fun to do product, stuff we don't normally do. You've got stuff. You got some stuff you need to finish. Yeah. Yeah, I mean my queue, my backlog is light. Like I said, I did buy some stuff. So, but I'm always looking for more because we build 6 hours a week on the stream here, so we go through things. And of course, I do have my coffee and anything. Coffee, Patreon, Twitch. I'm months and months away from getting $100, getting a payout from YouTube, but whatever. All of that goes into me buying kits and equipment. So if you like what you see here and you want to support me in any way, shape, or form, even tell a friend. If you have a friend who likes anime talk and model kit building and a good, fun chat, I'm always appreciative of that. Real quick, I've got my Discord. You should join my Discord to build Bear community. I post build photos after every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's a cool way to see what's going on out there and what people are working on there. Background and Characters is my weekly improvised character series. that comes out every Wednesday, and very excited to share that one. The one I made this week, as I said, is my favorite. And then I am volunteering at the Game Developers of Color Expo, which is next Saturday. It's a week from today. I will still be streaming because it's done, and I can get back here in time to stream because it's done at like 7. Or my shift is over at 7 at least. So the Game Devs of Color Expo is next Saturday. I'm volunteering at that. If you're in Harlem or near Harlem, you can get to Harlem pretty easily. You should come out to a cool, everyone's welcome. The focus is on developers. The talks and the games being on display are focus of color. And it's a fucking rad time. And I'm excited to go. And finally, I'm going to meet YouTube friends, someone I've seen perform. We know each other on the internet, and Twitter friend. Mike Eagle is going to be speaking. And Mike and I have known each other on the internet for a very long time and never met in person. And I can't fucking wait to say hi to Mike Eagle. That's a personal thing. My friend Alex is going to be there too, so I get to hug Alex. But also, I'm going to introduce myself to Mike Eagle in person. You've got 2 perfect grades at Debrium to finish. The new job is killing your free time. I totally understand that, Inked. Hey, this channel, this 2 years old into the stream channel, sorry, one of the reasons why I started doing this was to give myself a chance to build model kits because it had been a long time since I built a model kit and I missed it so much that I was like, well, I like doing this. It's fun. I wanted to start doing Twitch streams, but I don't want to like play games because I'm not great at them and I wasn't sure what I wanted to stream. And so that's one of the reasons why I did this was because I was like, I want to build Lego sets and build Gunpla. I miss doing that. And now I get to, which is fucking rad. Um, so now we're doing this. Back into it. But yeah, those are all the things I want to promote. They're coming up. I'll have more to say about my packed schedule. I can say that I am running 2 panels and I'm on 2 other panels right now. Very excited to do 404ing it and improvise postmortem. And to be on a panel about networking, which is going to be funny people. It's not going to be a funny panel, but it'll be funny people, but it might be educational. And then also another panel, which, since the host of it has not started promoting it yet, I can't, but I will at some point soon be able to start promoting this panel, which seems pretty cool. And I think folks will be into it when we can talk about it. I think the panel producer is just waiting for a couple people to confirm before he starts promoting it. But yeah, I'll start talking about that as we get into August. But Improvised Postmortem, I can say, has Trin Garitano on a team of Chicago comedians, which is cool. I like having teams on there. Not on a team, but repping Chicago in all things, Dave Lang and Mike Drucker. Mike Drucker is already going to be out there. I was booked on a few things, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit! I got to get Mike to do my panel." So I was very pleased to be able to book Mike because he is fantastic and will do so great. He's so good at improvised postmortem. He did the only one I've done that was not at a PAX, and he killed it. So, fully expecting him to do great at this one. I was excited to announce the Easy Bake Oven baking panel is coming back. Yep. I was thinking I should head up an anime convention. Turns out there's one in DC next weekend, says Mr. Bob. Ooh. Well, yeah. I think the next anime convention for me is Liberty is at some point. I don't remember when Liberty is. I missed their Easy Bake last year, so looking forward to this one. So they're not going to be streamed this time. They were last the first one, but not this one. But it will be happening, and then I believe that they're going to get it filmed so that people can check it out. Don't 100% quote me on that. I mean, it's not my panel, so I can only say so much. But in talking with Harris about it, I mean, it's a terrible idea. I didn't watch it live at East because it was right before my panel and I was prepping. Um, it was a fun time to watch. I have followed. My panels have followed two different. The last two shows, Improvised Postmortem has followed a food panel. The last two ones, the Easy Bake Oven one, the cooking one, and then Greg Miller did like a wings eating panel. Ugh, I was just like, get the fuck out of here. I don't need either of these things in my life. Um, I got that part of the leg fixed. Good, because we're getting ready to connect the parts together here. So, all right, so this is the normal leg. You can see that there, and then it can change around a bit. I don't know why, but it can do that, which I guess is for rocket boosting, so it can move around. It's got a lot of movement in the legs, which I appreciate. Pat, take back what you said. We all need wings in our life. Epic Open World. I'm only saying it ended up being fine because they were very careful about making a mess. Thank you, and publicly, I've said this, privately, publicly. Thank you, Andrew and Renee, for insisting that they take care of themselves and keep it clean for enforcers, because it's not enforcer's job to clean up barbecue sauce or wings or buffalo sauce or whatever. She's, in general, a great person, and specifically in that regard, I was so happy. I'm just saying, I don't want to follow a panel where people ate wings on stage, because I was so lucky that there wasn't a huge mess. I was so blessed that there wasn't, because there could have been. There probably should have been a bigger mess than there was. I got no problem with food-based panels, but no thanks. I don't need that cleanup stuff. I don't want to worry. I don't want to worry about that stuff. All right. So yeah. So we're putting all our armor on here, and then we will continue, and then we're going to put our legs together here. So getting a lot done with this. Just kind of breaking everything out. Now you want wings. Sorry, Asmo. Like wings and some garlic bread are sounding pretty good. Well, you're welcome and also sorry. But yes, I hear what you're saying. Oh, there's a new blade? Lashbrook, I didn't see that. I mean, they should. Look, a lot of Phase 4 is TV shows of minor characters and just other things they hope they can turn into franchises. And Blade is already a successful franchise, so 100% there should be a new Blade. Because here's the thing. Marvel comic fans will be like, hell yeah, a new Blade. And Blade fans will be like, hell yeah, a new Blade. Because Blade fans want a new Blade. Of course they do. Blade is great. Fans that didn't know that Blade was a comic character still want a new Blade. So it's such a good idea. I did not know that was a thing, but I'm totally on board for that being a thing. And good casting as well. You're right. But yeah, there definitely should be more Blade. That just makes sense. All right, so we're putting some armor on our legs here. Some nice looking armor here. I don't necessarily love this. You know, this is an off-white color. It's not my favorite, but I do think it looks pretty sharp in the contrast to the green. I think it works well with the green. It's not my favorite beige color, but it's not bad. They're also taking another crack at Fantastic Four. I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like they should give that a way more time. Here's actually what they should do. My opinion, just me. Uh, uh, is that maybe they should just introduce a member of the Fantastic Four in another movie, like have the Thing be in a Defenders, uh, something like that, or have Johnny Storm show up in Eternals or something. Like test bed, sell me on a character, have Spider-Man's new, like have Spider-Man intern with Reed Richards, like, and yes, despising his role. I know you meant reprising, but also yes, Chris Evans. Yeah, bring back Chris Evans. Indeed. Uh, but yeah, I like to me. I think you need to wade into uh, the Fantastic Four. You can't just introduce all those characters at once in a movie and have it be an origin movie. That last one is awful. I watched it on a plane, and it was very bad. Reed Richards could just be the new Tony Stark, aka the Brain Suffers. Yeah, introduce Reed Richards as the new, scientist who's kind of taking, whatever. Vision finds him and says, "Hey, we need your help," or whatever. Like, uh, Hasbro's gonna claim that typo was intentional. Hell yeah, it was. You meant to do that. I don't know. I think that like there's something to be said for those characters. Like, there is a compelling story. I just think that that it's hard to tell those characters' stories all at once. I think any of them you could have, and then introduce. Be like, you think I'm like, you have the Thing show up, do a bunch of stuff, and people think he's an alien, and they're like, "Oh, you're one of them," and he's like, "Nah, I'm from Brooklyn or Queens or wherever the fuck Ben Grimm is from." Uh, whatever. They make some joke, and he's like, "No, I'm Greek Orthodox or whatever." He makes some joke, and then says, "Oh, you think I'm weird? You should meet my family." And then you fucking launch that movie. The Thing, but no one explains why he's there, and everyone's just okay. Yeah, or he shows up and helps out, and people are like, "Did you think he's an alien?" And he's like, "No, I'm Ben Grimm. I live in that big building over there." And he points at the tower, and people were like, "Oh, you know Reed Richards?" But I think they got to introduce them slowly, and they should introduce them with just a movie. But whatever. Do what you got to do. All right, it's anime talk time. Let's talk about some anime that came out this week that I'm into and one that I'm not into. First and foremost, um, is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon season 2? This show, like, I'm shocked. This episode had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I was like freaked out about it and psyched about it and like worried for the characters. It for a show about like an RPG fantasy world guy trying to be strong, like I think they got into the conflict too early in the first episode. I think the first episode rushed to the conflict, but this second episode kind of grounded it, showed you who our big bad is, and the henchman, the minor bad is. Like, really did a good job. Yay anime, yes. I just think that is it wrong to try to pick up Girls in a Dungeon? Like, the first season I think is very good, but it was always just like, that's good. And I think the 1.5 season, that looks at some of the characters is fun. It's funny. It's kind of like passable. Uh, but overall, I'm like, I am engaged, and I cannot wait for next Friday. I really want to see where it goes and how he trains up for this War Games thing. And if there are other characters from the first season we see making appearances and helping out. I never saw the movie. I haven't seen the movie. The Don McKay movie. I need to see it. I missed the movie. I don't think it's canon, but I still want to see the movie. Um, I want to see it legally, but I haven't been able to. Okay, so that was really good. Fruits Basket. High drama. Good episode. I am sort of still going through the motions with this show. I am not as in love with it as I once was, but I still like it. I think Fruits Basket is still solid and also is giving me things I'm not getting. Like, it's not a slice of life show. It's a drama with funny moments and interesting characters, but it is a drama. And I don't have a lot of dramas that I'm watching right now. Um, there are light moments and fun minor characters, but I am enjoying it. So that's Fruits Basket. Um, okay, so the tension I was feeling throughout all of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Season 2. The beginning of Dr. Stone, I was feeling the same amount of like worry because the end of episode 2, we find our major conflict. We've got our antagonist. Our antagonist reveals himself to be, like certainly as kind of heelish as our main guy is, our scientist is, our brilliant genius 15-year-old. He still wants to save the world and rebuild civilization, and it is somewhat of a game to him. But we can still appreciate that he's trying to do the right thing. And then we're introduced to a character who basically. So the thing with Dr. Stone is something happened that made every human on Earth kind of like petrified, as like a petrified human-ish sort of thing. And now they're trying to, this group of 3 are trying to rebuild society. And then we find out that they revive a guy who's like, he's like really well known in like as being like a delinquent and being very strong, and he's like opinionated, strong dude that turns out to be very evil. So we've got a super smart genius, his very dumb, strong friend, and now we've got just an evil guy. And then they revive the fun lady friend of theirs, which, okay, so the tension goes away pretty fast, and then we get into science. It's this weird thing of like, it's a very fun show and a very cool show, and I don't know if I describe it well, but it is worth your time. I think it's a very interesting show. But I will say my favorite part of it is the fact that they revive this girl. She's very confused about what's going on, and they're like, "All right, we got to defeat this dude." And she just goes, "I don't quite get it, but but I trust you to." And I just love that. And that's a lot of what this show is the main dude is like a complete and total genius, and the other characters are like, I do not get what you just said, but you're a good dude, so okay. And I like that in a shonen show. I think it's really fun in a shonen show. And then they're like, all right, we got to go on an adventure, and they're going on an adventure, and there's a lot of science, and most of, if not all of the science is legit, and so that's interesting. And I'm thoroughly engaged. It's my favorite show of the season by a long shot. I really thought it would be an isekai that I would be into the most, but and we'll talk about an isekai in a moment. Yeah, this show is cool. Asmo says a brief update. Wings and garlic bread will be here in 30 minutes. Damn you, Pat. Also, thank you, Pat. Hey, the garlic bread was all on you, my friend. All I did was mention wings existing, and you went on your own. But also, congratulations. Just, tip well because of the heat. Unless it's not hot there. But if it's hot there, tip well. Somebody's going out in the heat for y'all. Gotta tip well. Um, so yeah, Dr. Stone, highly recommended. It is by far the best show out this season, I think. Um, so the last one I want to talk about is, and I always have to look up the title. I think some people are calling it like Isekai Mom is the name that some people have nicknamed it, but it's Do You Love Your Mom and Her Two-Hit Multi-Target Attacks. For those unfamiliar, we only had one episode, so this is the second episode. Uh, this is an isekai. Dude is taken to a strange land inside a video game. He knows about light novels. He knows about this thing. He's excited for it. But also his mom is there. And that's weird. Why is mom there? And his mom is like super overpowered. She can use 2 legendary swords, and her basic attacks are multi-target attacks that do a lot of damage. So she just like wrecks shop. And, he's embarrassed because of his mom. Uh, uh, because like, she's a mom or whatever, and she's also like, the show wants you to want to fuck the mom. The show wants you to appreciate the mom and be into the mom. Like, that is a huge part of this show, is being like, hey, it's mom though, right? So we get in the second episode. They are pulling together a party, and of course, she doesn't like anyone that her son chose. She wants her son to pick good people. And we meet 2 of them. We meet immediately Porter, who is going to be everyone's favorite. She's already my favorite character in the show. She's a young girl character who is a merchant class. She can craft items and carry items, and one of the things she has that she's psyched about is she's like, I can carry a bunch of items no matter how big they are. I haven't watched the second episode, but did see a very suggestive still of her covered in a liquid, which seemed too far. Lastbrook, I'm going to get to that. This show, yeah, I'm going to get to a thing. There's a thing in this episode that is probably too much for some people. Is a part where I was like, am I going to keep watching this show? I'm going to keep watching this show until they introduce the third female character, because there's 3 party members besides the mom and the son, and I want to meet the third one, because right now we have met 2 of the 3. So, Porter, she's not a combat class, but she's nice and cute and apologizes, and she's a support class, and she's adorable. She's the little sister type. She's already great. We already stand for Porter. Yeah, and she's got like, she can carry stuff, and it doesn't matter how big it is. She can just fit stuff in her bag. She's very useful. We already want to protect her, and she's great. And then we meet Wise. Oh, so we know that Porter is a tester. But we don't know anything else about her and why she's there. And then we meet Wise, and Wise is like, I can't tell if Wise is yandere or tsundere or just evil. I get the sense that she's evil, and her mom is evil. So she was traveling with her mom, and then they parted ways, and now she's like, to clear the game, everyone can leave when the game is cleared. So we get plot. This game was created so that kids and their moms will like each other more and become like closer. And so she knows that, and she and her mom had a disagreement, so she left the party with her mom. And so now Wise has joined this party, and she's a spellcaster, and a lot of jokes are going to be her being like whatever, like a lot of jokes are going to be at her expense. Clearly, also there were slimes, and the slimes removed the clothing of the mom. And for some people, that's where they decide, nope, this show is over because it's a lot of like him being like, don't do that to my mom, and then she's just like mad about it too, and it's there's going to be a lot of jokes, and I don't mind dirty jokes. Like that's part and parcel. There's going to be a harem aspect of the show. That's part of it too. I get that, but like I don't need in the second episode. It's moving very fast. Compare it to Cheat Magician. It's a guy Cheat Magician, which is already had 2 episodes as well. This week was their second episode. That show, they're just learning magic in episode 2. They're not adventurers yet. They're now able to defeat the thing that almost killed them in the first episode. So they got that far, but they haven't gone on a grand adventure yet. Like they're still waiting for their grand adventure. So it's so strange to have like I don't know. It's odd how fast this show is moving. There's already a party, and they've gone and defeated a bunch of stuff, and we'll see what happens with the rest of it. But like, I don't know. It's surprising how fast the show is moving, and also like I said, this show wants you to want to be sexually attracted to the mom. And fine, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not here to say don't be attracted to the mom, but like, it is weird. It's a weird part of the show. And it is like, of the 4 isekai I'm watching, it's the one I'm least interested in, which is surprising because the name is so weird. And I actually think the premise is way more interesting than Isekai Cheat Magicians, which is kind of boring idea. Demon Retry, which I think is an interesting idea, but is also in the same level of like, there are parts where I'm like, all right. And then Arifune, is that the name of it? Ariforta, which is like, that got that kind of like, I'm a bad boy, anti-hero, but still, this anti-hero is actually the most like sincere and earnest of the bunch kind of a show. Yes, you would Ferta, Ferta, or whatever it is. You recommended that, and I watched the 2 episodes, and I'm into it. It is jumping into my queue. Is a show I'll be watching on Mondays. Yes, you had recommended that, and I am checking it out. And I like the episode that I watched. I think that there's something interesting about it. He still has an eye. They show art with him wearing an eye patch, and so, white-haired eye patch demon guy seems kind of cool. Weak guy that people just assume got killed. Because, he's going to be out for revenge, but is he really out for revenge? He's going to be helping people along the way. And there's going to be a bunny girl, and I'm into that. That's fun. There's going to be a bunny girl in your... You tell me there's a bunny girl in your anime? All right. I'll give you a look. That sounds like it could be fun. But yeah, I'm watching 4 isekai. That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking... That's a lot for one subgenre. When I look at it, it's like I'm watching 1 drama. I'm watching 3 shonen shows. 4, if you count, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon as a shonen? And because I don't know how you classify that as. It's an action-adventure show. I guess it's a shonen. One Piece is a shonen. I'm watching that. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord is kind of a slice of life, but there was more action than a lot of slice of lives have. Are You Lost is a comedy slice of life. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy bunny people, yeah. I guess, there's going to be some bunnies. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Alright. Keep it moving. That's all the anime. There's a lot of anime right now, y'all. Because I haven't given up on any shows yet. That's coming. Believe me. There will be a period where I'm, done with the show. Right now, the one that I am thinking about dropping is Do You Love Your Mom and Her Two-Hit Multi-Attacks. Next week, I want to see... I want to meet the member of the party that we haven't met yet. I want to see if that person shows up. Because I want to see them all together. But, overall, I'm not super into the show. So that might be one that I let drop or catch up on later episodes. But that might be the... And then if it's for my daughter, I know is a ticking time bomb because I know that the manga takes a turn and it takes a bad turn. So I don't know if it's going to happen to the anime, but I hear that gets not good. So, but I feel like that comes way later in the manga. So, I don't know. But that is definitely a ticking time bomb. I'm liking the episodes I'm watching. Are you also a member of the 3-episode folks for giving anime a try? I try to do 3 episodes. I think 3 episodes is a show that is going to run for 12 or 13 episodes. I think 3 episodes, a fourth of the series, is a good indication if I'm going to like it. If it's a longer running show, I might come back to it. Like Black Clover. I bounced off of Black Clover, and then friends of mine who really liked it were like, hey, this is really picking up. And I went back to it, then caught up. And I do really like that show. So I went back to it. But I often will, stop watching a thing after 3 episodes if it just isn't holding my attention. Unless it's a dry season. If it's a season where there's not a lot of anime coming out, I like to have things to talk about. I'm still watching How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift and still like it. So far, none of the episodes have been near as horny as the first one, and I hope they keep that up. That's good to hear, because that first episode, from what I hear, was very horny and very, shitty about weight loss. Yeah, I heard not good things about that first episode. Lashbrook, that's on Funimation, right? I believe Lashbrook has a Funimation account. One I do not. I have Hulu and I have Crunchyroll. And, as I should say, so I don't think it's on Crunchy, Lashbrook. As far as I know, it's not on Crunchy. I think it's just on Funimation. Yeah, it's not on Crunchyroll. I'm looking it up right now, and it's on Crunchyroll. So it's probably on another service and Funimation. I know it's on Funimation because that's how you're watching it. It might be on another service. I know that Subtitle is on that Australia and New Zealand channel that just started up. So it might be that is where the dub is, or the sub is. But yeah, I'm not interested in that dumbbell show particularly. I thought the idea sounded kind of fun, but I mean, I'm looking for, and I'm not watching that High School Magician one because that just seemed not good. And I don't know anyone. I have not had anyone in my life being like, no, you got to watch that one. You got to watch Magician Senpai or whatever. Nobody I know is telling me to watch that, so I'm feeling okay about skipping it. But yeah. We got a little time left here on the stream. If there's anything people want to chat about, anything going on that they're excited about, I'm always willing to hear from y'all. We are just about done with the legs here, which rules, because these look awesome. I love these. I love these rocket boosters here. You can see them there. Open up. Oh, that popped up too much. That opened up too much. But I think that looks rad. He says as he pulls it apart and then can't put it back together. Uh, I might check out Accelerator, which is part of the Certain Magical Index, Certain Railgun, Scientific Railgun series. The Accelerator is definitely not my favorite character. Aristophan, hi Aristophan. They announced an Overlord-themed Picross game for the Switch. Are you familiar with anime? I know nothing. So, Overlord is a show that I used to be real into, and they made me not want to be into it. I think the premise is really interesting. It is a, it is a isekai in that the main character was playing a MMORPG, and then was there for the closing of the game that he'd been playing for a long time, and then his character wakes up in an alternate world that's similar to the game, but he's inside the Lich character he has with all the NPCs that his guild created, but he's the only one. And then it's him like creating a world for himself and figuring things out. And as the show goes on, he becomes more and more of a villain, which, as it starts, he's not really. He's bad, but he's definitely not the villain of the show, or he's not as much of a villain as he later really becomes. And I think I like the show less as it goes on. Like the second season, I may get it for Picross. Yeah. I mean, it's like a cool world. There's some cool characters. It's an interesting world, but I'm not super into it. The second season of Overlord, they spend a long time investing in all these characters that you know are going to get fucking murdered by our hero, quote unquote. So you're like, hey, check out these cool lizard people. These lizard people rule. Check them out and their life and everything they do. Isn't that neat? They're going to die. And then, spoiler alert, they fucking die. And then there's some other stuff that happens, blah, blah, blah. But like, they spend a long time making you care about characters they are going to murder. And it becomes less fun as the show goes on. I think the world is interesting, but yeah. But I'm, hey, if good people are making a Picross game, like, there could be some cool stuff to it. There are some cool minor characters in that show. As long as Pandora's actor isn't in it, everything's great. Oh god, there's a character in the show. He's the minorest of minor character, but he fucking sucks. And he shows up a little bit in season 2, and I was like, no, get out of here. So they know he sucks, but everyone makes part of this MMO, the original MMO, that then gets changed, when it becomes real, quote unquote, is that you can make NPCs. And the main dude apparently made a really shitty NPC that he thought was cool when he was in his edgelord phase. So he makes a guy that's wearing definitely not definitely militaristic, definitely Nazi looking stuff, and he's very verbose and he talks all weird. And he's a shape-shifting character called Pandora's Actor. And the character is supposed to suck, and he does. And he's supposed to be annoying as shit and too fucking much, and everyone's supposed to be like, fuck this character. And yeah, fuck that character. But ugh. When Pandora's Actor briefly showed up in season 2, I was like, no, get that character fucking out of here. Get out of here. Oh, it's the worst. I know he's supposed to be the worst, but he's still the fucking worst. Definitely a statement on what people think is cool when they're teens versus what they think is cool later. But yeah. Ugh. There's some not great stuff in Overlord. I'm still waiting to hear about that Gundam game. I hopefully will get in the beta of that. I signed up for the beta. I mean, I'm probably not going to play it. I'm going to get my Gundam Wing for Sorry about that. I'm going to get my wing for signing up for it early and getting in early, and I'll be happy about that. But I'm not expecting it to be good or for me to really play a lot of it. But I don't know, making a Gundam mobile game, I want to check it out. Those are the rules. Everybody knows that's the rule. You make a Gundam mobile game, free-to-play Gundam game that's not a gacha game. I'll check it out. Like I said, hopefully I'll get into the beta of that. I signed up for it, so we'll see. There is a Gundam game. It is a mobile game. It's going to be pay to win. Robot Crank says yes. It's going to be like it's Pokemon Go, but with way more microtransactions. Is what I've been told. And one of the things they have is that if you play when it starts or you sign up ahead of time, is when it comes out, you'll get a Gundam wing, a full wing kit. But most of the time, I guess it's like you show up to real world places like Pokemon Go, and you get parts to build your Gundam, and you build your Gundam, and then stuff, whatever. And I was like, this all sounds great. I probably won't play it too long, but I'll at least check it out and get my wing, because that sounds good. But yeah, I'm not expecting it to be awesome. There's a Gundam Breaker for mobile. I haven't checked that out, Lashbrook. I should take a look-see on that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be rad, but could be cool. Alright, so finished working on the waist here. I'm almost done with the stream because I'm going to take off a little early because I am sweltering right now. And I want to cool the fuck down. And before I lose control, I got to cool it on down. Because it is so hot in my room. I want to take a photo of this kit. I want to turn these lights off. And crank up all my fans. So I'm going to do that in a moment. Isn't that the one you're talking about? I believe so, yeah. I forget. Let me look up. I think I got an email from them. I forget whatever. I don't know. I signed up for I don't know. I signed up for a Gundam game. I don't know. Gundam mobile game. I think that's what it was. I don't know. I signed up for it. We'll see. I have wings and garlic bread. Thanks for the stream, Pat. Well, thank you. Enjoy your wings and things. In this case, your wings and garlic bread. I haven't had garlic bread in a long time. Garlic knots are all over the goddamn place here in New York, but I want cheesy garlic bread. That's what I really want. I mean, I got my garlic, I did get my fix of getting cheesy bread last Sunday, so I did have that at least. But yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you had a great time. Consider giving me subscribe or at least follow and turn your notifications on. I'm gonna go cool off as Epic of World says. The next stream will be on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So come check that out. We're gonna finish things up here. We're gonna connect some pieces and it will be rad as shit. But we'll finish up our we'll probably finish up or at least get close to finishing the weapons and the wings for the Fenice. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Tell a friend, and I'll see you next time in the next Build with Baer workshop.